All right, the law that could stymie neighborhood improvements. What's this about? In St. Augustine, a proposed state law could halt major plans for neighborhood revitalization, just as the city's newest community redevelopment agency area, known as the West City CRA, was preparing to launch its first projects. The State Bill 1242 could effectively phase out most CRAs across Florida by 2045. Well, that's a long way away. And it would block any new projects or financing efforts beginning October 1st of this year. Interesting. CRAs, community redevelopment areas, were created to combat blight. The only time I've ever heard the word blight was Captain Planet.
I don't even know what that means. I don't think I've heard that before.
Blighted.
Blighted?
I've been in blighted areas before. That's when you lock the door.
I've been blighted by the life, by the light, wrapped up like a douche for the very first time.
Boy, yeah, it's revved up like a deuce, but I
was wrapped up like a douche.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Wrapped up like a douche for the very first time.
Like. I can't not hear that.
You said it in a black accent.
I
comes out of me.
hear that when I hear the song. I always thought for the longest time, I'm like, what are they saying? He can't be saying
handfuls of songs that we don't even know what they're saying. We just say it. All right, cool. Vocabulary?
Created to combat blight by reinvesting local tax revenue back into struggling neighborhoods. These funds, called tax increment financing, or TIF. What up, TIF?
TIF.
Come from the increase in property taxes as areas improve. Supporters say it's a powerful tool that doesn't raise taxes, but still funds affordable housing, infrastructure upgrades, and economic development. But Senator Stan McClain, the bill's sponsor,
Stan,
says some CRAs have been mismanaged with board members seeking inappropriate stipends and excessive money spent on administrative costs. While McClain hasn't cited specific examples, he does argue that many CRAs have either outlived their purpose or expanded beyond their original mission. In St. Augustine, officials like CRA's division manager, Jamie Perkins, say that the West City CRA just weeks away from adopting its first redevelopment plan. And the plan included sidewalk repairs, stormwater upgrades, and assistance for storm-damaged homes. Projects now feared may never get off the ground. She warns that legislation would erase years of work and devastate rural communities that may need CRAs in the future, but wouldn't be allowed to create them. Under the bill, no new CRAs could be established after July 1st. TIF revenue would continue to be collected, but only until existing CRAs sunset, most by 2045. What do you think about this, Troy?
All right, so in case you guys want to know where we're at with CRAs, we have several CRAs in our community. One that's very successful, the West Augustine CRA, which you mentioned, has had some limited success, but they're really getting great momentum going with the clinic over there and some other things. So they're really, right now, they're just starting to hit their stride. The one that started first is Volano. And I don't know if you guys remember what Volano used to look like before they started doing the roads and everything over there. They have a Publix now. They have the center over there. I went to Saturday, I went to an event on the walking streets area. It was amazing. It was slammed. So the success of a CRA, if you want to think about it, go back 30 years and see what Volano looked like.
There's nothing over there.
And now it's got some great hotels over there. And it really, the old bridge is now the pier. I don't know if you guys, how many people were here back when.
I remember the old bridge.
It used to always break.
Always broken.
It would be stuck up.
Always broken.
You had to go to Palm
Valley all the way up.
So, I mean, that is a success story of a CRA, but it takes decades to get to where you get your feet on the ground. And if they take these out, the other CRAs in Lincolnville, Lincolnville has went through a lot of changes in some of the things that they're trying to do over there. But it allows the money to stay within, like if money's collected there, that money stays within that community. St. Johns County is famous for collecting money here and sending it over there. But this allows that money, that TIF money, to stay within the community, to be reinvested back into the community. So I like the CRAs, I like the TIFs, but it does come down to, like they're saying in that bill, and what they're trying to do is who's holding the purse strings of that CRA and how that's being managed, and that money not going to administration. It's just like a nonprofit.
Right.
Nonprofits are great
when they're run correctly.
Until they're not great.
Yeah.
Until they're not great, and somebody sees all that money and then pulls it out, and all of a sudden, the executive director, instead of making a job he should be making 60,000, is now making 300,000.
Right.
And that happens.
Yeah.
So it's I like the CRAs. I would like to see a little more oversight on the management of them. But I think this is too far beyond where it needs to be.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you for the context there.
I probably talked 5 minutes when I could have done it in 2.
No, that was good.
So,
good. No, we need people need to know what the stuff means, man. And that's why we have you here. Because you get it.
It sounds like a cup shell game of like, how are we going to take money from people and what are we going to do with it so they can't catch up to what we're doing with it? And it sounds like we're always a step behind of all this. And
the most important thing is it protects the money to stay in the area.
Right.
And that's the most valuable component of it. And, until 45, I mean, hopefully they come up with something different if it does pass. But, it's needed for, what is it? Blighted areas?
Blighted areas.
Blighted areas.
Blighted.
So,
yeah.
Blighted by the light.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. Tiff. Shout out Tiff in that song.
Yeah. Shout out Tiff. And the never mind.
And the
Tiff and her never mind.
Oh, Justin's the one who said breakfast at Tiff's.
Tiff's
Oh,
nice.
That's a better song.
That one's good. There we go.
Yeah. And I said, what about breakfast at the Blighted Tiffany's?
That's a new restaurant coming soon.
Yeah,
whenever we have $100,000 a month to throw down on that, we're moving to downtown.
Blighted Tiffany's. There we go.
And we're closing all Nights of Lights. So we're only opening during non-Nights of Lights days.
Yeah, that's right.
We're here to fix the problem, guys.